used my fingers, I used my lips, I used all the tools that you tell us to use. But it seems like my wife cannot be stimulated yet. Now, what might be the cause? So, hi, my name is Mekapadi. Today, in this video, we are going to tackle the issue of women and sex. But before that, let me tell you, who is Megapadi? Megapadi is a sex therapist, a relationship coach. A relationship coach without sex education, it means nothing. That's why I am here teaching you. My job is to teach you to explore your sexuality, to know your sex body, to know where to touch, to know what to do in your relationship. If you want to improve your relationship, you cannot talk about relationship without the sexual education, the area that has been neglected by many education. I brought it in. I am here to help you so that you are able to be who you are, because all of us are sexual beings. For those who need the sex education, the sex coaching, please contact me. Now, while we are at the beginning of this video, I want you to comment. Let's make it interactive. I want you to comment about this topic. How do you feel about it? But just remember also to subscribe, because if you don't subscribe, you will not get any notification when I do the next lesson. So let's come back to the question of the men that the wife cannot be stimulated. So that's the thing, the physiology why woman cannot be stimulated, because she has used the other thing. I've already talked about that. 80% of women can only be stimulated through other tools, not the vagina, not through penetration. Now, the reason why many women cannot be stimulated despite the effort is that I've already talked about. Today I want to talk about shame. Because, women, we have been shamed. If you talk about sex, if you touch your private part, you'll be shamed. And you are not allowed to touch yourself. You are not allowed to talk anything around sex. And if, for instance, you start even sleeping with someone, you will be shamed. You are called names. You are called a slut. And religious has also shamed us. If you are talking about sex, you go to hell if you touch there. There is that also. It's a religious shame, and there is also societal shame. That is one. So we are not yet, that shame is still in our subconscious mind, because we haven't released the shame. So it takes a long time for our shame to really move our body. Even when us who have been married for more than 30 years, like myself, there is still that shame. But as a relationship coach, I cannot speak around relationship. I cannot speak around marriage without touching the issue of sexual health, because those are the majority of challenges that comes into my office. People feel challenges because after how many years their partner refused. They think that sex is maybe for young people. And that's quite a lot of people also believe this sex is for young people, married couple who have been married for so long. Then the husband will go outside because of that shame, because they feel there is a certain need that is been neglected. They feel they cannot be sexually satisfied in their marriage. That's why they go. Because of that judgment that's attached to us as women, if you talk about it honestly, even us who are relationship coaches, we are being mocked. Why do you teach people around those things? But how can you speak about relationship, marriage without touching around shame? Now, because men self they've been sort of like they are allowed to even have multiple partners. If a woman have a multiple partner, the whole world will hear about it. That's why we have that. So that is one. So meaning shame is number one that really blocking us. So we must also look at the issue of stress. Women stress so much, especially married women are so stressed by many things, children, financial uh, stress, work stress. Now, before women used not to work, now they have too much pressure, stress. And I said, women have sex with their brain. So if you are stressed, you will not be able to be stimulated, whether you use another thing, because a woman need to be in a good mood. So if you are stressed, you are angry, and you feel that pressure, you have anxiety, you feel that you know you you are not given what you expect. For instance, you feel that your husband is not available, your husband is not there supporting you, then you feel that stress. And the moment the stress get into your body, it starts it at your conscious mind, and then it moves to your body. Then even when you stimulate the clitoris, which has 12,000 nerve endings, you'll end up not really being stimulated. So, and then the third one, most of women go through, they have a lot of traumas. Some, if I can tell you, if let's say 10 women comes into my office, they come, maybe they are not coming for sexual challenges, they just come because of any relationship challenges. I will find probably 5 of them have trauma. They have been sexually molested. And the issue that in our society, because you cannot speak about sex, even when you are sexually molested, sexually abused, you cannot tell. And many of them, they will tell me that it is the first time to talk about that, because I know how to dig. They are not even coming to say, no, I am here because I have a trauma. No. They are just coming either for premarital coaching, they are coming for any other coaching. And then when they come, there is always a way how to go into so that I can find out whether they have been sexually abused. That's how I find out, because I know nobody will talk about it. Nobody will tell me that they have been sexually abused. So many women in our society has been sexually abused. And when a woman has been sexually abused, in their subconscious mind, they attach hate to sex. Even when you are now supposed to enjoy the sex, you cannot enjoy something which is hateful. So they associate sex with the hate because it has been forced. They associate it with a forced thing. That's why many women cannot. Another thing is also that because of lack of knowledge. Lack of knowledge when it comes to the difference between the sexual pleasure of a man, the sexual pleasure of a woman. So what happened is men take, women take long to reach the sexual pleasure, while men doesn't. That sexual differences, there is that orgasm gap, there is that the gap is there. because we are not at the same level. So if you are as a man, especially the one who asked the question, you as a man, you don't understand that gap that, yes, as a woman, you take between 30 to 45 minutes to be stimulated. We are not even talking about to reach your sexual pleasure. We are talking about to be stimulated. It takes, for a woman's body, it takes 30 to 45 minutes to be well stimulated. So for you, and for a man, it takes only 15 minutes. So if you will know only that, okay, now why my woman is not coming? Me, I'm already well stimulated. There is that difference. Know the difference. Because once you know the difference, you are able to give time, especially for stimulation, for a foreplay. That's why in the last video, I was talking about communication as a foreplay. So those are the things that you need to learn. As men, you need to know all those aspects. What are the difference between men and women? And you need to know where are the nerve ending. If you don't know the places where you have to touch so that your woman can come, you have to touch at the places where there is enough nerve endings. Like, for instance, the clitoris. The clitoris, it has 12,000 nerve endings. So you concentrate there. But again, you have to communicate with your wife to know that when I touch your clitoris, how do you feel? How do you feel? Does it feel good or not? Because if you just touch it, maybe you start at the clitoris, but it also depends from woman to woman. But those four things are the one that really prevent women so that they cannot reach orgasm. I want to repeat them. Number one is stress. Number one is shame. Shame is the biggest because it's stuck in our subconscious mind and it can influence the body so that it cannot be stimulated well. So it's the shame, societal shame, and religious shame. Then we talk about stress. Then we talk about trauma, and then we talk about lack of knowledge. Those are the things. So once you know that, know the difference between men and women when it comes to reaching the sexual pleasure. If you know that, then you give enough time to foreplay, 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 learn, learn, learn. And once you know that, you are able to help your woman have a positive attitude when it comes to sex. Talk more about sex. Discuss, watch videos, learn and associate yourself with positive mind people who are able also to talk sex so that you desensitize your tongue. When you talk about sex, you don't feel that shame because that's only when you have to learn to unshame it, because otherwise you will not be well stimulated. You cannot stimulate your wife. And again, for the wife, it is your responsibility to reach the pleasure. It is not your man's responsibility. Take it upon yourself. You know what you need to do? Practice it. Touch yourself. Masturbate. And so that you are able to transfer that knowledge to your husband so that he knows exactly where to touch, how to touch, and when to touch. So I hope this helped and answer the question. If really you like this, please subscribe, like, share, comment. I want you to comment. Do you think, I want you to answer this question. Do you think that it's more a religious pleasure? Let me rephrase it. Do you think it's a religious shame that is more than societal shame? Where the religious are the one that really play a big role. If that is how do you think? What can we do so that we really deal with the shame? What can we teach our children? What can we teach, especially the pastors? What can you teach so that this shame can be lifted up? And then we have less problem in our society, where marriage flourish, where there's less divorce? What can we do so that we start talking more about sex education? Sex education. Please do that, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.